Welcome! In this explainer, we're going to build something really useful together, a communication toolkit. We're going to stock it with 20 powerful words and phrases that will help make everything you say and write clearer, more precise, and just more effective. So let's get right to it.
So you might be thinking, really? Just 20 words? And yeah, I get it, but think of it this way. The right word at the right time doesn't just get an idea across, it sharpens it, it gives it impact. This isn't about memorizing a dictionary, it's about adding a few high-impact tools that you can pull out and use every single day.
So here's our roadmap for today. We've organized our toolkit into 4 main sections, kind of like trays in a toolbox. First up, we'll cover words for those big feelings. Then we'll talk about people, places, and welcomes. After that, we'll dive into some really powerful verbs of action, and we'll wrap up with some key concepts for life. Okay, let's open up that first tray in our toolkit. This section is all about giving you the words to add more color and nuance when you're describing strong emotions, so we can move beyond just saying things are good or bad. First up, we have the verb amaze. This means to surprise someone greatly, to fill them with a sense of wonder. It's part of a family of words like the noun amazement or the adjective amazing. A perfect example sentence would be, the magician's tricks will amaze the audience. Now, on the complete other end of the spectrum, we have terrible. This is a really strong adjective that describes something as extremely bad or serious. It's in the same group as words like awful or horrible. You might say something like, the traffic was terrible this morning. Next, we have gratitude. Gratitude is a noun, and it means the quality of being thankful, that deep feeling of appreciation you have for something or someone. It's closely related to other words like appreciation and acknowledgement. For example, you could say, she expressed her gratitude for the help she received. All right, let's move on to our second tray. This section is all about words that help us describe social roles, specific kinds of places, and the way we interact with other people.
So let's look at the word reception. Now you might think of a wedding reception, which is a formal party. But in this context, it actually means the way people react to an idea or a person. So when we see, his idea received a warm reception, it simply means people really liked and welcomed his idea.
Okay, first, a guarantor. A guarantor is a person who makes a formal promise for someone else, usually a financial one. Think of related words like a sponsor or an endorser. A really clear example is, to get the loan, he needed a guarantor to sign the papers. Next up, embassy. An embassy is the official office or home of an ambassador in a foreign country. It belongs in that whole world of diplomacy, along with words like ambassador and minister. A simple sentence would be, he was appointed as ambassador to the embassy in Paris. Here are a couple of really practical words. First, tenant. A tenant is just someone who rents a property, like an apartment, from a landlord. So the word is connected to ideas like rent and a lease. For example, the tenant pays rent on the first of every month. Next is a lane. A lane can be a narrow road, maybe out in the country, or it can be one of the marked paths on a bigger road. So you'll often hear, please stay in your lane while driving.
Okay, it's time for our third and largest tray in the toolkit. This one is absolutely packed with powerful verbs of action. These are words that really describe influence, change, and all sorts of dynamic interactions.
Let's start with entertain. This verb means to provide amusement or enjoyment for someone. Its word family includes the noun entertainment and the adjective entertaining. A great example is, a good movie can entertain millions. Next, we have overhaul. Now this verb means to completely take something apart, to examine and repair it. It's a much bigger deal than just fixing something. It's related to big ideas like rebuild or renovate. You might say, the car's engine needs a complete overhaul.
Now here are 2 important verbs about getting involved. First, to mediate. This means you step into a dispute to help 2 sides come to an agreement. The person who does this is called a mediator. You might hear something like, she will mediate the conflict between the 2 companies. Then there's interfere. This also means getting involved, but it usually has a negative feeling to it. To interfere means you're getting in the way or stopping something from happening correctly.
Let's take a look at how one simple verb, blow, can totally change its meaning with just one extra little word. So the basic verb means to move air. But if you say blow out, you mean to extinguish a flame, like a candle. If you blow up something, it could explode, or you could just inflate a balloon. And to blow someone away means to really impress them. Like, her performance will blow you away. It's a fantastic example of how powerful phrasal verbs are. Okay, here are 2 verbs that people mix up all the time: overturn and overtake. To overturn something means to officially reverse a decision, usually a legal one. For example, the higher court could overturn the ruling. On the other hand, to overtake is to physically go past another car or person that's moving. For instance, the race car will overtake the leader on the final lap. See? Totally different meanings.
Our final verb for this section is grant. When you grant something, you formally agree to give what's been asked for. It's a bit more official than just give. It's closely related to words like permit and authorize. You've probably heard the classic phrase, permission granted.
And now for our final tray. These last few words are all about key concepts that really shape our lives. We're talking about rules, responsibilities, and outcomes.
First up, the phrasal verb base on. This just means you're using facts or ideas as the foundation to create something else. It's super common. For instance, the movie is based on a true story. Next, we have overdue. This is an adjective that describes something that hasn't been done or hasn't happened by the expected time. The classic example, of course, is, this library book is 2 weeks overdue.
Now for the verb obligate. This means to bind someone to do something, either because of a law or a moral duty. The noun form is obligation, which is that duty or responsibility. For instance, a contract will obligate the company to complete the work on time. And finally, fail. This is a fundamental verb that simply means to be unsuccessful in reaching a goal. Its word family includes the noun failure and the related idea of fault, which is about who is responsible for that failure.
And just like that, we've done it. By working through these 4 trays, you have added 20 precise, powerful, and practical words to your vocabulary. Your communication toolkit is officially 20 words stronger. So I'll leave you with this final question. Out of all the new tools we've just added to your kit, which new word are you going to use first? Think about it and go put that new toolkit to work today.